It's Planet Rock. Good morning, I'm Wyatt. You may have seen or heard it over the last few days. The now official godfather of rock, as he shall now be known, Brian May, has recorded a kids' TV song for CBBC, and it's not a bad song. And Brian is here this morning. Now, Brian, I thought, if I'm honest, this song was going to be a lot naffer and cheesy than it actually is. But I like it. I was quite surprised.
Well, to be honest, I was surprised about the whole thing. I get a lot of requests for things.
Yeah.
And actually, this came from my wife, Anita, because she'd worked with them before, Andy and the Odd Socks. And she said, look, they've asked you if you'll be the godfather of rock in this episode. And I went, you know what? I'm really busy. And like you, I thought, it's going to be a kids program. It's going to be naff. And why would I want to do this? She said, read the script and see what you think then. And I read the script and I was quite tearful at the end of it. I felt very emotionally affected because what they're doing is dealing with the insecurities of kids and when they lose their self-confidence and when they get bullied and all that stuff. And the story is just great, I thought. Fantastic for kids who feel left out. So I said, okay, I've got to do this. But I did a little stuff to it. Yeah, I mean, I can't really enter a project without putting my mark on it. So, yeah, I got into it. But I loved working with them. And I really like what they do. You know, the whole idea of Odd Socks is that they wear odd socks because it's odd and they're different from everyone else. So it means all these kids who feel like there's something weird about them and they're getting bullied, they all feel like they're not actually odd anymore. They're okay. It's okay to be what you are. And I love that.
You're right. The campaign it's a great campaign because I remember when I was growing up, when I went to secondary school, we're talking the mid-'80s, and if you were different, and in my case, this sounds really far out now, people were like, what? I had long hair. So being a long-haired male in a school of 1,200 when no one else had it, you were a target. Anything different, you were either verbally humiliated, physically assaulted. You kind of felt isolated and alone, and at least we've moved on more.
Yeah, kids do it, you know, and it is a big thing still. I think it's an enormous thing, and the internet sometimes magnifies it. And I was bullied at school. Yeah, I mean, I remember it very well, and I was lucky that I could talk my way out. I was a good talker even in those days. But yes, I remember being scared of going home because someone was going to pounce on me out of the hidden behind a gatepost. And shall I just tell you the story of the episode in case?
Absolutely.
What happens is this guy, Rio, is in the band. He's the guitar player and he's usually full of energy and enthusiasm and confidence. And one day he comes in and he says, I can't do anything because I've lost my air guitar. So they go, well, what's happened? And he said, well, I don't know. I said, well, I'm going to go and see my godfather. So his godfather is the godfather of rock, who lives in the rock cave on the planet Rock, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
And that's me. So he comes over to see me and they have to do various things to get to me. But what happens is he comes in and he says, I've lost my air guitar. And I say, look around, I've got loads of them here. You can have a replacement. And he can't see him because he's just so damaged. So I get him to close his eyes and I say, just think of the best time you ever had on stage. So he visualizes it and he sees the crowd going nuts and he's full of energy and confidence. And then I, as the godfather of rock, I say to him, okay, when you have that feeling locked in your heart, open your eyes. Suddenly his confidence has come back and he can see the air guitars. He gets a new guitar and he rocks. So to me, it's a lovely little parable about what happens to us all when we lose our mojo.
It can't be a coincidence that at the very least subconsciously they thought of us when they named it Planet Rock. I mean, it's coincidence. That's a big coincidence for us to believe it.
It is, and I'm not responsible for it. I don't know what the truth of it is, yeah.
Well, I think it's a good song. Let's get it on now. From the CBBC show Andy in the Band featuring Brian May, this is Planet Rock on Planet Rock. And there you have it. The song Planet Rock on Planet Rock. Andy in the Band featuring Brian May from the CBBC programme. See? It's not as bad as you thought it would be, was it? I thought it was going to be awful. I quite like it. And you can see it online as well at planetrock.com. Good little ditty there, just over 2 minutes long.